Looking for a more colorful and less caloric side dish than the usual rice and potatoes? Today I'm going to show you how to make stuffed tomatoes on Vegetarian Cooking for Carnivores. I had never actually had a stuffed tomato until a few months ago when I was looking for a side dish for my portobello topped polenta recipe. I was looking for something to enhance the recipe, not just accompany it. Something tomatoey sounded good. So I looked in my cookbooks and I saw stuffed tomatoes. Now, of course, I'd heard of stuffed tomatoes before, but they never sounded very appealing until then. Then it seemed like the perfect side dish for my polenta recipe. So I read through lots of recipes and came up with my own version. When I took my first bite, I knew I'd found a wonderful side dish, and I've made them many times since. By the way, I'm going to be showing you how to make my portobello topped polenta in my next episode, episode 17 of Vegetarian Cooking for Carnivores. Don't bother writing down the recipe now. As usual, I'll have it printed at the end of the video where you can push pause and copy it then. For now, just watch and listen. This recipe is for 2 people, so just do the math if you want to make a different number. The first thing to do is to wash and dry 2 large tomatoes and pick out ones that are blemish-free and are flat on the stem end. Slice off about 1/3 of an inch from the bottom of the tomatoes. You might be tempted to slice off the stem end since most of us don't eat the tough stem part, but the stem end gives a more solid base, and being flat keeps the tomato from rolling around and spilling its contents. Next, remove the insides of the tomato, but leave the skin and the outside. You want the tomato to be able to keep its shape when it's empty. Poke into the crevices to free the seeds and the liquidy part and shake it upside down over the sink to remove it. Once the tomatoes are cleaned as well as you can, give them a good shake over the sink and then place them cut side down to drain completely. Now dice the sliced off ends and the meaty pulp and then set that aside. Put half a large bay leaf or 1 small one in half a tablespoon of heated olive oil. Add in 1 clove of pressed garlic, 1/4 teaspoon dried oregano, 1/8 teaspoon dried basil, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and half a teaspoon of salt, and saute over a medium-low flame for about a minute, taking care not to burn the garlic. Turn the flame up to medium and add in the diced tomatoes. Cook them about 2 minutes. The idea is to soften them, but not turn them to mush. What you'll notice is the pieces still have their shape, but quite a bit of liquid has been released from the tomatoes. Rather than boil it down, which would make the tomatoes too mushy, I'm just going to pour it briefly through a sieve and get rid of most of the excess. Pour any solids in the sieve back into the saucepan, remove the bay leaf, stir in 2 tablespoons of seasoned breadcrumbs and 1/4 cup of finely shredded Romano cheese. Spoon the stuffing into the tomatoes just about to the top. Sprinkle on about 1 tablespoon per tomato of additional finely shredded Romano cheese. Place them on a cookie sheet that's been greased with olive oil, preferably one with a lip in case the tomatoes leak. Since I'm only baking 2, I like to use my toaster oven's broiling pan. Bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, then broil them for a couple of minutes until the cheese is brown. The stuffed tomatoes are done. Aren't they pretty? And they're so amazingly tasty. I can't believe I've been missing out all this time. An additional benefit is that you can prepare them ahead of time. Just save the baking for when you're ready to eat them. If you'd like to learn more about vegetarian cooking for carnivores or to view past episodes, go to my website at vegetariancookingforcarnivores.wordpress.com. And for you Facebookers out there, go to my Facebook page called Vegetarian Cooking for Carnivores, click on the like button, and you'll automatically receive my new videos. Well, that's all for today. I'm Antonini, and thank you for joining me on Vegetarian Cooking for Carnivores.